A little mini training for you today is we're going to be talking about how to stop jumping from strategy to strategy in your business. Okay, so tell me, have you been stuck starting, stopping, starting in your business with different projects, with different programs, with different niches or target markets? Have you constantly finding yourself creating in creation mode, which we love here? However, have you been finding that you're just constantly creating and throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying different things and hoping that one of them works? If that is you, then this video is for you today. Because I'm going to be breaking down how you can actually jump off this stop, start again train and actually start to build some momentum in your business. Okay, so if we haven't met before, my name is Claire and I'm a holistic business coach working predominantly in the area of wellness. It's my absolute passion. It's where I've come from in my wellness coaching business. I was working as a wellness coach for 5 years prior to moving and transitioning towards more helping business owners. Reason is because I started to get a lot of people asking me how I was building my business, how I'd gone about it. Plus also I've worked in marketing for 10 plus years, and I decided to bring that aspect of myself back in order to help and support you, because I was seeing so many amazing, brilliant people out there with so much heart, with so much to give, so much talent and so much knowledge, studied for years, but they didn't know how to package up their services. They didn't know how to build a business, because really, most of the time when we actually go and study, whether it's naturopathy, whether it's wellness coaching, we're really not set up with a business aspect, and to go it alone, it can be a very lonely journey. Okay, so that's a little bit about me. So let's get back to the topic. So something that I see happening a lot in the market, and I'll also talk from personal experience because I've been there too, is that a lot of us are trying lots of different things. And I think there's an aspect of this at the start of our business journey for sure, right? Because we're never going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. And so we do need to try lots of things. However, there comes a point when maybe you have tried a bunch of stuff and nothing has really worked. And there's a few reasons as to why those things haven't worked. And I wanted to kind of break this down a little bit for you. One of them is that you may feel that you haven't quite nailed it yet. It's not quite perfect enough. You haven't quite nailed your niche. You need to switch, or you saw your friend from school doing something else or working with another niche and they were being successful, so you thought, oh well, maybe I'll change my niche and do what they're doing, and so you're constantly kind of almost jumping ship and constantly trying something new. And I know that for myself, what I did was I created, when I finally got over myself of actually starting to create stuff, because there was a point where I was just procrastinating and too scared to create. When I actually started to create, I've done a little bit of work on niche and ideal clients. However, I hadn't done enough to really understand who my creations were for. But I created a $29 offer. I created something else that was like $450. I created something else that was $2,500. And I created all of these different offerings. And I'd launch them out into the market, do a ton of work, and then they wouldn't necessarily be either reaching the numbers that I'd set in terms of my target for how many people I wanted in the program, or I fell out of love for them or something, right? And so then I kept shifting and changing and shifting and changing. And what happened was then I really wasn't getting very far very fast. I just wasn't building the business that I wanted to build. I wasn't building in the way that I wanted to build. I wasn't creating a business that was going to be sustainable in the long term. And I just didn't know what piece it was that I was missing. And the issue and the challenge with constantly doing this is that we confuse our market when we continue to chop and change. They lose interest in us and they go find someone else who can help serve them, right? Which is really not helpful because you've done all of that work to attract them, to nurture them, and then suddenly you're talking about this other thing and they will just leave you, right? So that's not helpful. We also lose trust, right? People need to have a sense of consistency. We need to be showing up consistently and our message needs to be consistent over and over again in order to build that trust. If you think about it from the brands that you trust out there, so the products that you trust out there, they have been consistent in the way that they have shown up in the marketplace. They have consistency in their colors. They have consistency in their message. Yeah, they have like different, additions that they bring in. So for example, if you look at Cadbury chocolate, for example, they have their core range of products that they have been creating and putting into the marketplace for years. They also have that consistent color, the color purple. Straight away, you see the color purple and it may bring up like, oh, Cadbury, or it may bring up spirituality, right? Colors associate with different things as well. However, over time, once they've built up this consistency and this base of products that they're known and liked and trusted for, then over time, they've brought in special editions that come in for a short period of time, right? It's the same with our businesses. We want to have a core offering. And then once we have that working and we're constantly showing up and we're consistent with our message, only then do we add anything else. Now, if you are a multi-passionate person, if you are a manifesting generator, if you are a creative person, you may be going, yeah, it sounds good, Claire, but yeah, that's not how my brain works. And I totally get it because that's how my brain is. I'm really creative and I have loads of downloads and I have loads of inspiration and I get really excited about loads of different things. However, what I have learned is this. Now listen up, is to have one ideal client. So choose your niche, have one ideal client, and then create an offer, and then start to speak directly to that client, leading to that offer again and again and again and again. And what you will find is then you start to build your business from this place. And then after that, you can bring in more and more things. But at the start of your business, you need to stick to a really simple strategy that's intentional, that's aligned, that speaks to your ideal client. And I speak this with so much love because I know those feelings of wanting to keep moving around. And but I also know the feeling of having done that for a really long time and not really getting the results that I want in my business and getting quite burnt out by all of the doing this. Okay, so there's a couple of things. There's a kind of a, what is it, 5-step process that I put together for you to just guide you here. So to get off this train of constantly starting and stopping and starting is to do these things. The first one is, and I'm going to go on about this all the time because it's so important. It's basically the basis of everything that you do in your business, which is to get really clear on your ICA. Get really clear on what their wants and their desires are and what they're struggling with right now that they are willing to pay someone, aka you, to help them resolve, help them to move forwards towards what it is that they really, really desire. And of course, if you're a coach or you're taking people through a transformational journey, we know that over time, working together, we're helping to instill longer term habits, ways of being, ways of operating in the world that are going to serve that person for years, potentially the lifetime to come. Okay, the second one is to create, or if you have an existing, choosing just one of your high-end offerings. So your package, your program, your offering that you have in your business. It's the offering that involves the most amount of time from you. So it's the high touch offering that you have that gives the most support to your clients and helps to take them through that transformational journey, that helps to take them towards the place where they most desire and that they will pay you for. Okay, number 3 is then to create your signature framework. So then what is the framework that you take people through that you can articulate to your prospects? So for example, in my business, I have the Wellness Business Builder framework that's composed of 3 elements. Soulful self. This is about you yourself in terms of what is the business that you want to build, what's the vision, what's the mission, what's your why. And then the second part is, who are you serving? Who is your niche? Like, what is your niche and who's your ideal client? The second aspect is sustainable strategy. This is about building a program, building your offer, getting really clear in terms of how your offer is specifically designed for your ideal client. And then the third part is meaningful marketing. It's then how you take all of that and then start to market consistently and speak directly to your ideal client to help support them. That is the framework that I have. And so it's creating your own framework so that your ideal client can really understand how you are the person to support them. Because we know that what we offer in the service-based space is not a tangible thing that you buy off the shelf. So we need to bring an element of tangibility to what it is that we offer. And we do that through our offering and through a framework. Okay, the fourth part is to create all of your marketing from this place. Okay, so your marketing will talk to aspects of what's included in your program, in your framework. It's constantly providing value and helping your clients to get awareness over what it is that you offer and also awareness over what's potentially keeping them stuck and how your program helps to support them to overcome their challenges so that they can have what it is that they do want. And it's really about going deeper into what your offer is and then pulling that apart and thinking about different ways to basically say the same thing than about going broad. As soon as we go broad, we lose our people and it dilutes our message, it dilutes our offering, and it's a lot harder to build a business, if not impossible, from that place in 2023 online. Okay. And then the 5th part is to then put your offers out into the market with a strategic marketing plan. And then, of course, review, tweak, just making improvements on what you already have over time. And my mentor, she talks about the 1% shift. So instead of jumping from thing to thing to thing, constantly changing, is actually to keep doing the same thing until it starts to work, whilst making those 1% shifts on what you're doing to just make it better and improve it over time. Okay, but as you will see, it's really important to know who this offering is for specifically, because without getting that right, then everything else kind of falls down. All right, okay, so there's a couple of reasons why we can find ourselves jumping from thing to thing. And I just wanted to talk about that before we finish up today. So conscious of time. All right. So some of the things can be that we're not clear on our ICA. We're not clear on who our ideal client is. So then we're jumping from ideal client to ideal client, or we're just going on whatever inspirational, creative things drop down to us. Or it could be that we have no strategy. So we are just, throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying anything that may work. And doing all of the things. We may find that our energy is really scattered, we're really haphazard in what we're doing, or it can be a bit more mindset related. So when we're doubting ourselves, when we're doubting our offerings, when we're doubting our abilities, then what can happen is then we're looking for validation from the external. So, oh, how many people liked my post? How many people commented? How many people bought that thing? And using that as the reason whether to continue with it or not. Whereas actually the reality is that we need to stick at something for a good while to see whether it's the right thing or not. And we need to remove ourselves from the emotional element. And this is the journey, letting go of the outcome and coming back to our why and our vision and our ideal client. And that's why the soulful self in my framework is so important, because it helps to stay grounded and it helps us to ensure that we're not getting distracted by all of the shiny things, and we can stay on a path of one ideal client, one offer, and then a strategic aligned marketing plan from that place. This, my friends, is an absolute game changer. And I know so many people, because I speak to them often, are feeling kind of a little bit scattered in this. So I hope that this is giving you some clarity and it's giving you a bit of a process that you can start to follow. Now, I also recognize that it is really challenging to do this alone. And so if you are not wanting to do this alone and you are wanting to invest in yourself and you're wanting to get the support and the skills and the tools and to create your own program with an aligned marketing system, then let's chat. And I wanted to let you know, if specifically you just knew that, you know that you want to go deeper into your niche and your ideal client and your messaging, because I've been working with a bunch of people recently and this offer has been selling like hotcakes. So I wanted to let you know and invite you as well. I just have 5 of them available this month, which is to get real clarity on your niche, your ICA, your ideal client, and your messaging in a 90-minute session with me. And what you get within that package is you also get a training recording and a questionnaire of like different questions that can really help you to identify all of that. And you get the 90-minute session and a recording as well to take away for only $390. So if that is something that you would like to put in for yourself, as I said, I've only got 5 spots available. Send me a DM via Facebook or via Instagram, and we can chat about that soon. Wishing you well on your journey today and into next week, and I can't wait to speak to you soon. Thank you.